So this is just my infrastructure breakdown. I'm just going to give you a quick run through of the different virtual machines and what's installed. So this is the main management console for my hypervisor. So I'm using Zen Server 6.7. Um, so what that allows me to do is just install or host a number of different operating systems essentially on the one. So I have one individual server, the 16 gigabyte RAM, 500 gig hard drive. I think it has an i5 processor, so it's just an average old desktop PC. Um, and it's hosting a number of different virtual machines for me. So it's hosting, the first one is my domain controller. So that looks after my Active Directory, my group policies, my DNS and DHCP and stuff like that. And then it has these 5 individual application servers. So these are used for each individual user type. So there's first year, second year, third year, fourth year, and lectures. So there are different types of servers, and they're controlled by different delivery groups. So I'll show you them later on. So the master image is the base image that controls um, all these 5 other server types. So if I wanted to install a program or an application, I'd install it on my master image, and then all I had to do is just roll it out to the other machines. Um, so essentially you only have to install it on one. A NetScaler virtual appliance is the application that makes um, my environment and logon interface available to the outside network essentially, so I can log on from anywhere. Then I have my Zen app server, so that's the main workhorse server. So that it looks after my delivery controllers, it looks after my delivery groups, my machine catalogs, my server, or my storefront server, and my licensing server. So without that, it doesn't really have any purpose. So I'll just go ahead and show you my domain controller first, which is kind of looks after kind of all the user stuff. So first of all, I'll show you my Active Directory setup. So inside my Active Directory, I have 5 different organizational units. I have first years, second years, third years, fourth years, and lectures. So inside first years, I'll just show you the group membership of a first year student. So if I pop open first year student, first year test, we can see um, a first year student has to be a member of the following groups in order to be granted the application access. So you see your different applications have different their own security groups. So in order for a student to get access to that, they have to be added to that group when they're created first. I'll show you those scripts in a minute. If I go over to the profile tab, we can see each student has a location on a file server set to their own name, and they have a location on a file server set for their user profile. So their user profile is a Roman profile that's located on a physical file server they also have implemented. And as you move up through the years, so if I click a fourth year student, a fourth year student will have a lot more application access than first year students. You see they have a lot more security group memberships, and that just controls what access they have. They also have a security group here called CTX FIP. What that does is it publishes a drive in their My Computer, which grants them access to the FIP drive similar to the one in the CSIS. At the moment in the CSIS, each student has to map that drive manually, so that's just useful. So I'll just go ahead and show you the scripts for creating users. So I go into My Computer and loads slow. Right, if I go into my C drive, scripts, and first year creation scripts. So this is the script that's ran first when there's a number of students coming into first year, so I presume UL just send on a list of students who are starting a CSIS related course. So the first script that's ran is a script to check if the user account already exists. So simply what it does is it reads in from a CSV file and just checks the usernames to make sure that there's no duplicates there, because there could be students we're coming back again. The second script, what it does is it takes in the information passed in via the CSV file. So it takes in username, first name, second name. It can take an address. It can take in department, course title. It can take in stuff like that, and then it just adds them to the relevant application groups. The third script is used to set the user's profile. So there's a Roman profile used for all users. So that just means that the profile can be accessed from any server, no matter what server they log onto. So that just sets the location to the server, followed by their username. And then there's the same for users' home drives. So just to publish their home folder location. So once again, when you move on into second year, third year, or fourth year, you're obviously going to need different application access. So there's scripts to look after that. So these scripts just add the users to the second year groups, and it removes them from the first year one. And similar, when you move on to third and fourth year, there's the scripts to add you to the relevant application groups for fourth year, so you're given access to some of the data mining apps that you might need for fourth year, for example. There's also one for disabling users, so that's used when you have inactive users or when you have students who are failing exams. It's just used to disable their Active Directory account and move it to a disabled organizational unit inside Active Directory. So it's just useful in case you ever have students returning back, that you can just re-enable their account instead of creating it again. So I'll just go ahead and show you some of the group policy settings that I have configured on my environment. So the Casper drive mapping, I just explained that to you there earlier on. It's to do with the FYP drive, so it just sets a drive for fourth years and lecturers to just a shared drive, so they have access to FYP resources. There's a folder redirection policy in place, so user start menus and users desktops are redirected to network shares. So this allows you to customize what applications are shown to what users. So if I just go down here to see this, depending on what group users are inside of Active Directory, it will relocate their start menu to 4 different file shares. So this just allows me to manage what's shown in the start menu for each user, and it's similar for the desktop. Desktop is a standard location for all users. So there we see the path is the same for all users. There is also policy for Roman profiles, so just to specify the location of users' app data files, and it helps separate users' home, like personal files, from their profile files to reduce the size of the profile. So that's useful for just performance optimization. And then there's the student group policy with a number of different settings. It just really controls what access they have, and just removes certain features that they don't need or that I don't want them to have access to. So that's kind of all with the group policies. I'm just going to show you my Zen app server finally. So this is where all of the delivery control options are set up. So as you see, my license is expired, so I'm on the trial license. This is where we can create our machine catalog. So our machine catalog is basically our base image that's distributed out to the rest of the servers. So it allows us to add a machine. I can add a number of servers to that catalog, or I can update the machine. So when I click update, what I can do is I can specify a snapshot of my base image, and I can revert the image to that. So if I ever want to roll back an image to an old configuration of my master image, I can easily just scroll down to master image, and it'll give me all the different snapshots that are available. If I can keep expanding them down, and it just allows me to update all images at the one time, essentially. So each server will have the new application if I ever install a new application. The delivery groups, there are 5 different delivery groups, so depending on what year you're in, you're going to have a different delivery group. So the delivery group controls different applications on a different set of servers. So if I just click edit delivery group, this is the delivery group for second year students. So you should see when it opens up that it's only available to second year students. So there'll be a separate set of servers for second year students, and this just helps you control what servers students are logging onto and what application access each student has.